Hello there, my name is Yvonne Haik. I am daughter to Rebecca and Norman Haik of the Norman Haik department store. It was founded in 1917 and it was located right over there on Columbia and Boston. Welcome, welcome everybody. Step on in, be careful, there are some rocky bits. So nice to see many beautiful faces here tonight. Especially you, my dear. Come see, come see. Gorgeous. We have gorgeous freckles, the face, the stature, everything except who dressed you? Is anybody here responsible for this woman? You chose black on black. A choice, a choice. Oh, okay. Well, as you can see at my papa's store, Norman Haik department store, we would not have allowed this. We would have made sure that we had a very fitting, nice dress that showed off that beautiful skin tone and the curves and everything, but nothing like this. Nothing this drab. But that's okay, that's okay. Don't worry, we'll talk about me in a second. Thank you so much for your participation. I grew up in Covington. My mama actually was working in the store whenever she realized she was about to have me. She went upstairs, gave birth to me, stayed a couple of days, and then right back into working. I had 3 older brothers and 1 younger sister, Gloria, and we all watched my mama and papa work in the store and do everything that they could until I think whenever we were 19, 18 years old, and we would also have to work there as well. I loved everything about Covington. We sold women's clothing, men's clothing, and sometimes even children's clothing with school uniforms. And well, I was also a part of SSA. Anybody from St. Scholastica? Good doves. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, well, that's all right. In 1939 is when I graduated with my class. And basically, you can thank me for your theater department. We were the first people to put on a school play. I believe it was called Tempest and Sunshine. We had a wonderful time. I was one of the lead actresses, as well as helped with the clothing, as you could have guessed, with fashion. Everything about Covington was new whenever I was growing up. It was 1922, new things were approaching, everything was changing, including cars. It was wonderful. I even was found in a social gossip magazine with my mama. It said, Mrs. Norman Haik and daughter, Yvonne, that's me, were motoring in New Orleans. Well, I think the biggest scandal part was that we didn't have a male chaperone. Not that we needed it, though. But me and my mama would go many places all across the nation to fashion markets. We went to Dallas, St. Louis, New Orleans, and even New York City. It was wonderful. We would buy boats and boats and boats of fabric, and we would bring them to the store, and they'd be there on display, and people could buy one-of-a-kind fashion dresses. My mama even hired tailors from Covington in order to sew and make sure that everybody had the perfect fit for them. Because nothing felt better than seeing someone smile and knowing that they felt good in the clothes that they were wearing. It was wonderful. I remember working at the store for 55 years until it burned down, and everything about that store was a part of me. I loved making people feel good. We also went to other places besides the nation. My family is originally from Lebanon, and we would go over there every so often to visit family. It was from originally there that my papa was convinced by my cousin Elias, which, if you were observant, you would have seen by H.J. Smith's grave. Just to the right of it is where he is buried with his wife. So he convinced my papa to come to Covington, and they had nothing. They came there in 1910, I believe, and they stayed with their cousin Mitchell Haik and his wife. And then in 1917, they opened the store. So we would always convince my family from over there in Lebanon to come to Covington. Because why not? Covington is beautiful. There's wonderful things about a small town. We'd also go to other countries, of course, like Paris. And Paris is where I thrived with the fashion, the culture. Nobody thinks that fashion can be as vibrant and as influential as it is, but it is. Even clothing that you are wearing today has elements from different decades. If you think of the 20s with the short hair and the flapper dresses, or even the 30s and the 40s, whenever we had to make sure things were more conservative for the war effort. In the 50s, as you see me now, everything was prim and proper, like clothing brands like Dior and Chanel would make sure that a woman felt most comfortable in her figure. In the 70s, my favorite, we had pants. A blessing that it was to have pants. But there was fun designs and colors, as you see here. Everything was made sure to make us feel vibrant and colorful. In the 80s, we had big, bright colors and blocky clothes that made us so freeing. And in the 90s, where everything was a little bit more duller in color, but more expressive to different people. Oh, I should talk about my husband now, shouldn't I? I was actually married twice, but we don't want to talk about the first one. No. The second one was Oliver Wagner. He was my love, my life. I loved him so much. He loved Mardi Gras. He was actually, with a couple of men, was the first to start the crew of Olympia. And with that, he also had the same notion that Mardi Gras and its culture and its music and its fashion would be brought to the people of Covington. It was wonderful being able to be with him. We had the same mindset. Because people would always tell me, Yvonne, you're so talented. Yvonne, you do so well with fashion. Why aren't you in Paris? Why aren't you in other places with notable variety of clothes? And I would say to them, why not? Why not Covington? Everyone deserves to feel beautiful in what they're wearing. Everyone deserves to feel nice and good in their clothing. Not just those who are elite, who are rich, who have the money to purchase very expensive fabrics. Everyone deserves to feel good in what they're wearing. So I want you all to remember that today, especially you, as we go about, and make sure you always feel good in what you're wearing, as long as you have my approval first, okay?